The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
The Dominic Carter Show
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And coming up at the bottom of the hour, I will be chatting with Sean Spicer, the former press secretary for President Trump. And I'm going to be asking Spicer about the violence, the assassination attempt over the weekend in Washington. And Sean Spicer has a new book out on the president. That is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Race, race, race. I am so sick of talking about it and dealing with it. I don't know what to do with myself. So before the words were even written on the Supreme Court decision striking down a majority black congressional district in Louisiana, the regular critics, they were up in arms. Again, will we ever get over this topic and understand that we're one America? And one of the people raising the alarm bell should be the last person on earth to do so, considering how good America has been to her, and that is Whoopi Goldberg. Plus, we'll deal with President Trump says James Comey's Instagram post represents tremendous danger. So we have a lot to get to, but let's start with this. Right? And 800-848-9222. We see your calls coming in right now. Let's start with this. Caitlin Collins, CNN, right? Caitlin Collins. We all know that President Trump is the ever energy battery, whatever they call it, Energizer battery, right? The name will come to me soon. But the man does not stop, and it shows in his work. He's well on his path to going down in history as the greatest president ever in American history. Caitlin Collins, again, of CNN, appearing on a podcast, announcing what we already know, that yes, this president does not sleep.
You don't sleep much.
Not really.
And nor does President
you?
Trump. No, I know. I slept 4 hours last night.
And you feel fine? Okay, that's
I'm on this is my fourth cup of coffee.
4 hours is nuts. 4 hours is Trump level.
4 hours. Yeah, and the night before was like 6, before that was like 7. So it varies. But is that what he sleeps, like 4 hours?
He does not sleep.
And so Caitlin Collins went on to tell stories about how traveling abroad with President Trump on Air Force One, you would think that most presidents are asleep in their private quarters. Not Trump. He's up talking all night, according to Caitlin Collins. And you know what, folks? Air Force One, that's one of the things. My bucket list is not too big, because I've had the opportunity through journalism and through this great country we all live in to do just about everything, right? One of the things on my bucket list, one of the things on that list is I've been to the White House 8 or 9 times. I've never been to the executive quarters at the White House. But one of my things is to travel on Air Force One. I haven't done that yet. I've been on a helicopter with the NYPD, the boats with the NYPD. And by the way, to those of you that sunbathe in different cities around the country, in particular in New York City, let me let you in on a little secret. The pilots in the NYPD helicopters, if you're up skinny dipping or whatever on your rooftop, they have cameras that can see crystal clear what you are doing. Crystal clear on your rooftop. So keep that in mind, folks. You want to understand me? Here's how you can do it. You can listen to the governor of Louisiana. Law and order, law and order, law and order. How about that? How about taking these little animals and giving them some check? Almost every day now, videos are popping up from all over the country where these little animals are acting a fool. Oh, how are they doing that? Oh, the police are being too rough. No, the police are not being rough enough. Somebody's got to put them in check. In check. So remember, there was a shooting in Louisiana at a mall just a few days ago, right? Mass shooting and so on. And the governor of Louisiana, making the great point. This is Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican. Let's just say he's going off following the mall shooting, and he's tired of people being in and out, released, go back in, released, go back in. I'm with the governor on this.
This is the kind of violence that we end up with when we engage in those kinds of policies. And I'm asking the legislature to go back and look at the laws. In fact, people that go into common places and decide to engage in that kind of violence, we should put them away for life. I'm done with them. It doesn't matter how old they are. Somebody has failed. It's not the government's job to raise these people. It's common sense not to go into a public space with a gun and start shooting around blindly. We got 18,000 acres at Angola. If it's up to me, I'd send them all there for the rest of their lives. Next.
Absolutely, Governor. I agree with you 1,000%. What, Angola is the name of your prison? Send them there. Right? A term that I'm fond of saying, that'll open up a can of act, right? They'll learn some morals there. Because guess what, mommy? I'm not responsible. Society is not responsible for raising your child. That's your responsibility, mommy. Okay? And I didn't say daddy intentionally. And why didn't I? Because we all know the stats. 80% of black households, children are born out of wedlock. And I can say that easily because I really think that I was the start of this. Me, personally. Me. No one else, me. Right? Father's Day has never meant anything to me. Ever on my scale. Okay. Whoopi Goldberg. Come on, Whoopi. Hasn't America been good to you, Whoopi? Aren't you the last person on earth that should be talking about race? Now, yes, Whoopi, and I'm going to post a photo. You and I together smiling at Sing Sing prison, trying to help these brothers turn their lives around. And it was really eerie. I did it many years. You sit down and talk to them, and they're like, yeah, Mr. Carter, I'm in here for 20 years for murder, because I made a mistake and I went to the movie theater because I was mad at this guy and I shot it up and by mistake I killed a 5-year-old girl. That's one of the stories I was literally told. Dudes that have been in prison for 10, 15, 20 years. Positive demeanor, seem like they're turning their lives around. And so Whoopi was there with me one year. She was the graduation speaker. And she didn't seem like a bad person, but come on, Whoopi. You make what? $1 million plus at The View to sit up there and spew that poison every day. You're the lead person. Haven't you done a lot of movies? Yes, they weren't good movies. Okay, maybe Sister Nun or whatever it was. She plays a nun. One of them was good, 1 out of 9, maybe 2 out of 9. Okay, but you've done movies. You've traveled the country as a comedian, and now you're on The View sitting up there doing nothing. Nada. Come on, Whoopi. So Whoopi is, quote, ringing the alarm bell. She suggests that the SCOTUS ruling, barring using race to draw congressional districts, is a step backwards. And Whoopi says it's about keeping black people. I hope you hear the sarcasm in my voice. It's about keeping black people from voting, but not just black people. Whoopi says women are next.
This decision, we knew this was coming because they've been chipping away at this for a long time. The court said, there's no problem with race anymore, and yet we're fighting every day talking about Project 2025. We know what's happening, and it's going to start happening to women as well, because all these changes in voting where they're saying you can't use your married name, you got to go get your birth certificate, so this is going to affect a lot of people. Right now, it sounds like it's just affecting people of color. We know better. We knew this was coming. So this is meant to discourage you from voting. This is meant to make you feel like you don't have a voice. You do have a voice. Do not forget that. But do you see it as a step backwards also?
Now, Whoopi Goldberg, again, I got the opportunity to meet you. You got the opportunity to meet me. I'm not going to take a cheap shot at you, Whoopi, and point out that there were many years in your life that you were the last person on earth that would point out anything black. I guess we conveniently forget that. But, and I see all your calls. We're about to start with them. Why is it always dun, 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 the end of the world when it comes to race? I really look at things this way, and I've said this over and over and over and over and over. I look at life as, I don't care what your intention is. If I got to go through this wall, if I got to put in 20 hours a day, I'm going through this wall. And no excuses. No excuses. The Supreme Court, 6-3 ruling, made a decision. It's the law of the land. Okay? Stop whining and complaining and hiding behind race. And Whoopi Goldberg, you are the last person on earth, right next to Obama and Angry Michelle, the former First Lady, to talk about racism or race. You're all multimillionaires. Cut it out. 800-848-9222. Let's see here. Let's go to, I see I have a hater here. Kevin, let's start with the hater stirring that haterade. Line 4, Staten Island. Kevin, what do you have to say?
No, I think you're spot on. I don't understand why you call me a hater. I think you're spot on. I give you credit for, as an African-American man, calling out the issues in the
so I read this wrong, Kevin. I thought you were hating 101.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So you feel I'm calling out. Oops, I got to take my foot out of my mouth there. So you feel that I'm accurately calling the issues.
Yeah, I've never seen a picture of you. You sound African-American. Are you an African-American man?
Yes, I'm an African-American man. There are pictures all over the internet of me. So it's not very hard to find pictures of me in television, pictures of me in radio, pictures of me in college. Hey, Kevin, thank you for the great call. Let's go to line 3. Michael in New Jersey. Michael, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I want to make 2 points over here. First of all, you have to think about how long the black people were oppressed for and how long they didn't get a vote. And now it's like time to give the vote back to the black people.
Oh. So how long we going to listen to that song, Michael? How long we going to listen to that? Oh, my Lord, Kumbaya. How long we going to listen to that?
I don't know what you're talking about, but the second point I want to make is that it's going to start with the black people, and it's going to go to the women, and it's going to go to the Jews, and it just doesn't stop. And if you're going to let the Supreme Court get this far, they're going to get a lot further.
Right. Thank you for the call. Not even worthy of a response. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And coming up in our next segment, I will be chatting with Sean Spicer, President Trump's former press secretary. I'm going to ask him dead on what's his take on what happened over the weekend in D.C. And Spicer has a new book coming out. But folks, I'm still annoyed. I'm still smarting, if you will, from yesterday.
The name is Mamdani, M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is Mamdani, M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it, M-A-M-D-A-N-I.
Oh, Mamdani, you're just so tough. You're just so tough. Oh. If I had the opportunity to talk to King Charles, I would tell him to return the diamond to India. I think that's what he said, right? To India, right? And then he got the opportunity to say hello for 10 seconds. And, Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are? Mr. I'm the man. He just smiled like a little baby in front of the king and did not say nada. Come on, Mom Donnie, stop running the game, man. Hey, I guess I can't hate on you, Mom Donnie. It got you this far, right? You went from a failed rapper, from a silver spoon in your mouth, thanks to mommy and your dad that doesn't like Jews. But then I guess she goes along with your wife that's racist, that uses the N-word, doesn't like gays, doesn't like Jews. So I guess you're just one big happy family, right? And you hide how you feel on these issues. Mom Donnie. Oh, he's just so slick. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's see here. Let's go to Stephen, line 1 in Manhattan. Stephen, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How are you doing?
Good. Go right ahead, please.
I just want to let you know, I've heard many of your broadcasts, and you're spot on with everything that you're talking about. And number two things have to happen. There has to be a recall election of the mayor, and you have to run for mayor. They have to get on the ballot.
I don't know about that, Stephen, because if I run, I guarantee you victory. And I'm running as a Republican, but I can't do it. I can't do it, Stephen, because I'm not going to lie to the people. I'm not going to do a Mom Donnie. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be completely real with you. This is not politically correct, but this is what a Mayor Carter would do. All these black kids are out of control. It's coming to an end, effective immediately. That's why I can't go into politics, because I would tell my police commissioner, there are conversations between mayors, and thank you for the call, Stephen. Thank you for the support. There are conversations that are public, posturing, and then there are private conversations between a mayor and a police commissioner. And I would say, wait a minute. I would say, Jessica, meaning I'd ask her to stay on because that's how good she is. Jessica, get the corrections commissioner in here too. And I would say, between the both of you, any of these kids acting a fool, these wheelies with the cars, these gang beatings and so on, protesting at the universities at Columbia, if I hear one example of someone being released with a desk appearance ticket, you're fired right there on the spot. And of course, I wouldn't publicly say why I fired them, but I would tell them privately, you better lose the paperwork. Let them spend a night in Rikers to learn and open up a can of Act Right. So that's why I can't do it. I can't do it. But who knows, I might. I'm not mentioning 7%. I'm not going near of a joke and so on. I'm going to leave that alone. But if I do it, you better believe I'm going to win. I'm a winner. I've got to take a break, and he's standing by. When we come back, we'll talk to the former Trump press secretary, Sean Spicer. Stay with us.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We are back, and with me right now is the author of a brand new book. His name, you know him from WABC here in New York and around the country and around the world, in fact, is Sean Spicer, former communications director for the Republican National Committee, served as press secretary for President Trump during his first term in office. Sean, how are you?
Good, Dominic. Thanks for being with me.
Of course. So the book, your new book, is titled Trump 2.0. The reviews are outstanding, and it's all about the revolution that will permanently transform America. It's an insider's look at the MAGA movement and President Trump. So I guess I just want to ask you, and I'm going to get to the book in 10 seconds, your take on what happened in Washington as someone is so involved with the media.
Well, in one way, it was shocking that it was so brazen that happened. In another way, it wasn't. When you look at the rhetoric that the left leaders, Democratic officials have used towards people on the right, it wasn't shocking as an outcome because they've talked about Trump being a threat to democracy, getting people that work in the Trump administration, whether it's Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. They've used inflammatory rhetoric that has radicalized people on the left. And so I don't think it can be that big of a surprise when somebody finally acts on it, when you tell them over and over again that somebody is a threat.
Absolutely, Sean Spicer. So President Trump, in your brand new book, I think this is your fourth book. You've had a best-selling children's book. You're originally, I believe, from Rhode Island. You've served our country and so on. But in your book, you state if the president states, if you want to understand the people, the policies, and the process of my second term in office, read this book. What's the main point you want to get across to the American people?
So the point of Trump 2.0 is to explain why it's different, Dominic. Every other president, except for one previously who served 3 terms, has been consecutive. President Trump's the first one in modern history not to have back-to-back terms. And those 4 years out of office are critical to understand why he's going to be so successful. So whether you're a Trump lover or you don't like the guy, you need to understand why. And these people that he's brought in it's a very different administration than Trump 1.0. And that's what I tried to get across. But it's not just saying it, it's explaining it. So why is the MAHA movement to keep America healthy and well so extraordinary? It's because of how it's being approached in Trump 2.0. Why are we finally tackling NATO and trade and all these other issues? Part of it is because President Trump, had a roadmap that was created during his time out of office, but he's also got the right people that understand the agenda and how to do it. And, Dominic, I try to tell people who are sports fans, it's like if you play a team at the beginning of a season and then play them again at the end of the season, when you play them a second time, you have a better strategy. You know how they're going to approach your team. You know what players played well in that first match. And that's why this is so different.
Wow. So, Sean Spicer, a question that I guess perhaps you're the only person that I can think of that can answer this for me. Why won't the media give this man credit for the tremendous job that he's done?
Well, I mean, funny you ask that. And we started this conversation off by talking about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and by extension, the White House Correspondents Association. I have an entire chapter in Trump 2.0 about this. And it comes down to they don't like him. There's Trump derangement syndrome. He threatens their way of life. I mean, to use a phrase that they love to use in terms of threaten, like he doesn't treat the media the way every other politician does, which is to suck up to him. You hear the names that he calls them. He will challenge them. He will sue them when they're wrong. He holds them accountable. They don't like that. They want to be coddled and treated like the elitist little group that they are. And that's I mean, they all want their rear ends kissed and sucked up to. And Trump, basically is like, hey, I'm driving this train. You're along for the ride.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. Just another 2 minutes. You have a tight schedule, Sean, and I have to adhere to that today. It's my contention that President Trump has an outstanding chance of going down in history as the greatest president ever. To which you say what?
That's exactly why you should read Trump 2.0. It's not just that he had a great agenda. The plotting and the planning that existed in those 4 years out, what America First policy did to put a roadmap together, what Project 2025 was, may have been derided by the media, but it served as a blueprint for everybody coming back into government as to where to start, what to do, how to do it. And that's why I wrote the book, is so that people could understand it's not just happenstance that he is being successful. There was a plan. The plan was out there, and there were groups and people plotting his return, and they are being able to successfully implement that. But that's the key, Dominic, is to understand that why. Why is he doing this? It's like somebody built a beautiful house, and you go, wow, that's amazing. Well, it didn't just happen. An architect put it together, put those plans for people to work off of. And that's what happened in Trump 2.0. And why I wrote this book is so that people could understand what the plans look like.
Sean Spicer, the book is out now. Congratulations. The book titled Trump 2.0. We were just talking with the author, Sean Spicer, who's on his radio show here on WABC in New York, and also throughout different locations. Full Court Press with Sean Spicer airs Sundays 10 to 11 a.m. Sean, thank you very much. And you know what, folks? We're scrapping the rest of the show. Right? Because I see all of your telephone calls. Okay, we're done with Sean now. I see all your telephone calls, and I want to give the time to you. I really do. So let's go. We're going to go to as many calls as we can. Let's restart now with Catherine, line 3 in Maryland. Catherine, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is you. And I think, yes, you can. You can be mayor. And you are a winner. Amen.
Well, thank you for that, Catherine. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what, Catherine? People like you and that other caller, you folks are going to push me over the ledge step by step. I'm not going to reference 7%. I'm not going to say, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say that I haven't ruled things like that out. But I don't know about me in politics because I'm not, if I do it, I'd have to move back into the city. I'm going to clean the city up. You're not going to see, now I might be being sued in federal court at least once a month, but you're not going to see the homeless in the subways and on the street and all of that stuff. And unlike Mamdani, right, it's a good thing that he went to this man's funeral, the guy that lost his life a year ago, interviewed by Channel 7, worked in the store, and he was worried, Catherine, that because of the crime he would lose his life. And so he happened to be, I believe, Middle Eastern, and I don't want to believe in my heart that that's why Mamdani went to that funeral and not the 15-year-old that was killed with the kids that were killed in the kid that was killed in Queens. Thank you for the great call and the great support, Catherine. Bless your heart. You folks are going to push me to do something I don't think I'm ready to do. But believe me, I would raise the money. Believe me, I would have the winning message. Believe me, I would be Rudy Giuliani 2.0 for real, except the black version. Let's go to Teddy in Yonkers, line 2. Teddy, what do you want to disagree with me about today?
Well, first of all, I would support you for mayor. If
I know you would, Teddy.
To vote.
I know you would. If you were eligible to vote, I know you would. You would say, "Oh, you're horrible." You'd curse me out, but then you'd support me. I know you would. That's a given.
Dominic, I'm talking calmly. I'm not cursing you out.
I said you would curse me out, Teddy. I said you would. Based on all your other calls, because I don't say the black things that you want me to say, and then you get mad.
You always characterize. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm not going to dignify that with a comment.
We're not going to dignify that with a response. Okay, so Teddy, what's on your mind, brother? What's on your mind?
I just saw in the New York Post today, Senator McConnell, he wants to know why the aid from the War Department of $400 million hasn't been given to Ukraine as it's been promised. And
could I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Teddy? And I hate people that respond to a question with a question, right? That's one of my pet peeves. But can I ask you a question? Would you be quoting McConnell if he hadn't turned on Trump? Because I don't think you would.
Dominic, I'm trying to deal with facts. You deal with all of these conjectures, okay, about who supports whom and who doesn't support whom. Dominic, because somebody doesn't support Trump, or in the reverse,
it's just that I Teddy, never heard you bring up McConnell before, so I just find it very interesting.
I might have. I'm not sure. Inadvertently, maybe I have, but maybe I haven't. But I'm bringing it up because I just saw it in the paper today.
Okay, but, Teddy, that stuff is not important. Before I move on, I want to know, how are you doing? Okay, we always get into it, but I think you know I like you, and I know you went through some hardship, losing your longtime companion, and you're dealing with your sister. I think you said you and your brother, you guys got to take care of her. How are you doing, Teddy? And then I got to move on.
I could be better.
But how are you, my friend? Seriously, how are you?
Well, fair. I'm going to go out and do my walk after I hear your program. And,
well, that's a good thing.
I always like to hear you.
Hey, I want you to do me a favor, Teddy. Seriously. So we disagree a lot, but I want you to live your life to the fullest. Seriously, man. I'm not kidding around right now. I really want the best for you. And so I want you, you went into a noble profession, people like you and Yetta, and both of you are now retired and so on. But, public school teachers, and without teachers, there would be no me. This is straight talk, real talk. So I got to move on, Teddy. but I want you to take care of yourself, man, and I want you to try and be happy. Can you do that for me?
Sure. Dominic, last thing, I agree with you 100% on crime issues, okay?
Right, but...
No but, okay? On the crime matters, I agree with you. Okay?
All right, Teddy, thank you. So go enjoy that walk and have fun here. Let's see. Let's go to Norman in Brooklyn, line 5. Norman, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, I wouldn't run for mayor, and it has nothing. It's no reflection upon you. It's a reflection that this city, I think, is just too far damn gone. I don't think anybody rational or reasonable can win the mayoralty. I think we're basically the People's Republic of New York at this point. And unless something major happens, like another 9/11, something or other, we're going to keep voting more Mamdanis. We're going to keep voting more of those people in. So I don't know.
Hey, wait, Norman, wait a New York minute before you go. What did you make of Mamdani? Return the diamond. And let me just make this comparison because it just came to my head here. What Mamdani did is like, okay, we're all in high school. And, you have the star football player. And the star football player is the man. So Mamdani tried out for the football team, and he didn't even make the JV. And then here comes the All-Star game, and he thinks that he's going to represent the school. That's what he did with King Charles. So what did you make of that, Norman, before I move on?
He used trifling, he's getting obsessed with trifling issues like some diamond that's been in the crown has been in the crown since Queen Victoria, and that's what he's obsessed about. This is nonsense. He doesn't give a damn. He should be as obsessed about the garbage and the crime in New York City.
Thank you, Norman, for the wonderful call. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey, line 1. Sandra, what's going on?
Well, Dominic, I'm thinking it wouldn't be hard for you to move into the city. First of all, you keep your house, and you have that beautiful mansion all set up for you. So that's not an excuse. That wouldn't be hard for you to do. And I think you would be the greatest mayor. And I don't agree with Norman on that. I do believe if you became
but
mayor.
Sandra, you know what? There's one liability I wouldn't have. My wife is not racist. And so my wife loves children. So I'd have to keep her out of the classroom. So at least, I wouldn't have to worry about covering up for a racist wife that doesn't like anybody. But go ahead, Sandra.
Well, I think you would be a gift from God to become our mayor. And I do believe if you became mayor, we would see big changes. But I just wanted to share that today I was in the city and I'm walking along the street and I see a woman, she's blind, and she's going to cross the avenue. And I said to myself, I could either offend her by asking her if she needs help, or maybe she might like that. I took the chance. I said, would you like me to help you across the street? She says, oh, yes, my dear. And she grabbed my hand, and I felt so good, Dominic, and we went across the street. And then I saw she was still having trouble walking down the block because you have the restaurants that she was about to walk into, that they have outside, and then you have the space to walk. So I decided to go after her, and I helped her walk the whole block. And I told her, on the left, you have the restaurants that are outside, and on the, I love that. And then right after that, I almost got creamed by a bicycle as I was crossing.
Oh, boy. Hey, Sandra, I'm 2 minutes late for a break, and I stayed over because it's you. And don't get mad at me, Sandra. Don't get mad at me. But I like this story much better than the story you told me about the squirrel, because after the squirrel, it turned the whole show where everybody wanted to tell me about animals that they made a mistake and killed on the road. So great news today, Sandra. Thank you for being a great American and assisting that blind woman. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I am so looking forward to not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I'll be in Nutley, New Jersey. Again, wonderful people there. I've discovered for me, Nutley, thanks to Lisa and John Mancini. And it's going to be, we'll see what happens on the show tomorrow, because all week long I've been trying to get my wife Marilyn to come on. Her brand new book about our son. Oh, it's deep. And his learning disability and his epilepsy. Her book is finally upon us, and she's going to be with me, and my daughter is going to be there. My daughter from Rhode Island and my son, and they went to get my son his suit today, and it's now got to be tailored, and it's a coming out for him, and our daughter will be there, and Marilyn will be there, and she'll be talking and signing and talking and signing. And in the meantime, so we'll see if she joins me on the show tomorrow. I have to beg for a week. She just doesn't like the public thing. If you were at a past event with her, then you know that she doesn't like the public side. That's all me. Let's go here, folks. I don't know how many calls I can get to in the little time we have left, but let's go to John, Staten Island, line 2. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, how are you, Dominic? You're a big, with the 7% guy. Don't you feel you guys sold out a little bit voting for Andrew Cuomo?
What's your serious question, John?
It is a serious question.
It's not a serious question. But you know why it's not a serious question? Because your candidate was a joke, never had a chance in hell, and he conned every one of you, as he's done for the last 20 years. So that's why it's not a serious question. And anyone that knows him knows that he was conning the people of New York City. Look at his relationship now with Mamdani. They're best buddies. So you're saying that I or others here sold him out? What? You don't see what he did to people like you? You don't get it still? You still believe in this guy?
About him? What about Andrew Cuomo?
Okay, right now we're not talking about Cuomo, because if not for 7%, Cuomo would be the mayor right now. Mamdani would be back in the assembly. So you didn't answer my question. You brought up 7%. You don't feel conned by this dude? After all this, you don't see what he did to you?
No, not at all. No, not at all. You're by Andrew Cuomo.
Wow. If you don't see, so even though the top Republican in the country, President Trump, begged him to get out, even though the owner of this network begged him to get out, you still don't see it? You really do. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid that much?
No, I understand your point. What I'm saying is, if Andrew Cuomo doesn't run because he's so worried about himself, if he didn't run, Eric Adams would still be the mayor today.
Maybe not. I don't know. When the feds came at him, oh, you hung up the poor baby. The poor baby, he can't take the heat, and he hung up on me now. Susan, upstate New York. Susan, you got 20 seconds. Go for it.
Okay, yes, Dominic, I'm feeling it. When you said Rudy 2.0, I can see it. I can feel it. You could really tackle these issues like charter schools, and the minority people will realize the Republicans want to fix it. The Democrats...
Absolutely. This is why I don't think I can enter politics, because welfare, as much as I can cut back on it, that's done. The free checks for nothing, it's a wrap. As much as I can do it. Folks, join the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and you can find them at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. I'm back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight, and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?